It could be the professor. I don't know. But the latest one, I was like slightly annoyed because it's like she had to pick an organization to write to as like the scenario. She's supposed to be an intern with this like climate change nonprofit, right? And she's supposed to pick this one of these list of organizations and write a letter to them explaining how climate change impacts them and things they could do to help fight climate change. And she picked asthma and allergies associated, whatever it was called, right? People that deal with asthma and allergies.
Yeah.
And then she wrote about how like air pollution is lungs
no like.
Yeah. And they're like, and then her feedback was like the structure, everything was structurally fine with it. It was all at least meet standards. But then they're like, oh, but it's talking about air pollution and not climate change. And like, there's not solutions on how to fight climate change. Like, motherfucker, what? This is a writing class. He's not fucking doing climate science here.
Yeah, that's real. See, the fact that they're like, oh, we need a theme and it has to be climate change things is a problem inherently, because it's clearly just just repeat your pet talking point to the teacher, or whatever, the teacher's pet talking point to them. It's real. That's really fucking annoying.
And it's fine if you just go like, oh, we're just doing like a particular theme thing, so you can keep your so you can kind of revisit the same sort of sources and stuff.
I mean,
I'm fine with that, but it's like as long as like the main focus is just the actual writing, and you're not.
That's what I'm saying. Is the problem is that it's like it has nothing to do with the actual thing that's just supposed to be being taught.
Yeah,
it's just ideological bullshit. You might as well just do. I'm Marcia. Arf, arf, arf. I learned how to type somehow. Seal no likey climate change.
I'm not sure how the freshman at PLU is supposed to solve climate change for these people. Like,
yeah, that's fucking bullshit on the highest order.
All right, let me see what we got here. I think level wise,
right, good. Right.
What? Some notes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes again.
Okay. I see.
This is the problem. It's like it's already
okay.
I've already wiped half of this.
I don't want to go too much. What?
Why are we yelling?
I just don't want to put the gain up too high.
Well, we'll just slowly increase.
Yeah, I mean, that is.
I mean,
to be fair, that is the typical way our conversations go.
No, we're just yelling.
Oh yeah, no, our levels are all over the place
until we're screaming. We start out at a casual conversation level, or possibly even below that.
Yeah, and then we're screaming,
basically mumbling, and then we're screaming at each other.
That's what I said
about Ellerby's chicken or whatever.
Yeah. That is basically our
mushed bananas.
Well, about anything really. It doesn't matter what the subject is. That's just how it goes.
All right.
And that's why the elves were so stupid.
And something about wormholes and blah 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 blah.
Anyway.
And then jump over the ship. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we're on episode 10 of season 2.
Only 10?
Yeah.
God. Shit, this one's dragging so much.
Yeah, no, that we've said that for like the past.
I'm not even watching this shit.
We spread that for to be honest, somehow it makes it drag more just through through this whole process. I'm not sure what it is. It's like we watch it. And we can't get to this part fast enough just to get it out of the way.
Here's the crazy thing, though. They've been wacky, fun adventures lately.
Yeah. No. It's true.
I like the German title for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It translates to Danger from Space.
which is also I remember was looking it up, and it's also used as a title used as the translation title for more well known.
Yeah. Which
what I forget what the name of the. It came from outer space. From that movie, right? Yeah, it's the same translation to. They use the same translation to German as this. So,
Isn't that the one with the giant ants?
no, I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or is that just them?
That was them, but there was definitely more than one with giant ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than one film director got the idea to put the camera next to his ant farm and then superimpose that footage with people going, ah!
No. It Came from Outer Space is the one with the sort of invasion of the body snatchers type thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You know, the one.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Same deal. With the ants.
yeah, with the ants.
Body snatching ants. We gotta make this movie.
Where the
Giant ants cram themselves into a tiny human body. Wait, that's
Men in
Men in
Black.
Black. Yeah. God damn it. I'm yelling.
See, I just said it.
Oh, yeah. No. Trust me. Trying to level audio, and this is not exactly the... There's several of them I just gave up.
I didn't even think about that, but that's definitely true.
See, we have to watch it. He has to listen to this again.
Yeah, I suppose it's
then
its own punishment.
Then he has to edit out his snores.
Edit out his own snore. It's like, fuck you, Pastor Marty. If you stay away for like 30 minutes.
I haven't gotten to one where I've fallen asleep yet. And I know that I snore, so I know it's got to be in there. Because I've definitely fallen asleep through some of these.
Yeah. No.
There's definitely some where it's been like a quarter of the way through, and I wake up with Cliff coming to the ending. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Well, no, we know at some point, and we just basically looking at each other.
Yeah, we're just fucking.
I know there's at least one situation where we just made up stuff more than usual, and it's like, and then the space aliens come, and this is during season 1, of course. So there's no space aliens yet.
Anyway, this one, we haven't even got to the cold opening. We got to the German title so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
It opens on a space shuttle, and there's a bunch of stock footage of space shuttle stuff. Yeah. This is like 5 solid minutes of stock footage.
With ADR.
Yeah.
For their purposes.
Yeah. And so their little fake radio chatter is they're discussing like new plans for re-entry because it has to like land somewhere else. So they're cutting to like the space shuttle and the control room, and they're like supposed to be disappointed because they had like a landing party planned with like, you know, family and people there gathered around, and then they got to go somewhere else. And so when they're landing, it's dark, and I specifically noted this because I had to rewind to check this, and I don't know if because the timestamps that on the bottom, they were in German.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if the German TV station that this got ripped from added those or not, because in this they're showing like the space shuttle landing, and then it goes like to the next day, and then and then later they're like it happened 4 days ago, but it's like the next day.
Yeah.
And anyway.
So they had to skip through something.
What I think happened, what probably happened is that I think that these timestamps on the bottom might have been added in Germany when they added like the title.
Okay.
And they don't match up with.
They don't match up with the timeline given in the show.
Yeah.
Either that, or they dutifully change them and copy them, and the timeline just doesn't match up.
Yeah.
To the show.
Well, it could be that they had to
they're
cut off
equally
all
possible.
the parts where the Hoff dressed up as Hitler.
I mean that I didn't see those parts, so I can't.
We know Teague is our Hitler.
Yeah, it's true. Teague is obviously our Hitler. The last one in this episode.
Yeah, he's not as bad in this one. They show the space shuttle coming in, and then there's like sparks that shoot out from underneath it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were added in after the thing. I don't know if that's like actual footage in there. It was just some weird, but basically some weird spark looking things like drift off the bottom of the space.
Yeah,
shuttle as
just
it's coming down.
A few sparks shoot out, and then they show like this farm. And then, whereas it was clearly just sparks that came off of the back of the space shuttle, this farm gets covered in glitter. Mm-hmm. It's definitely like the glitter. It looked like a 13-year-old's MySpace page.
Well, specifically the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they show it like come in, and then like when they show it inside the barn, there's like it's inside the barn, and you see like moonlight coming through, and the whole image is just covered in like gold sparklies.
Yeah,
It's not like
it's just
drifting
crazy.
in like a thing. It's just they just superimposed.
It's just crazy with it.
Yeah, glitter sparkles. And so then, after that happens, basically the containment unit from Monsters Inc. shows up.
Yeah, this is a sort of a weird scene. The farmer and his daughter. Mm-hmm. Are standing like outside of their house.
And the dog.
Oh yeah, and the dog. That's right.
Don't forget the dog.
The dog's with them, and they're standing outside the house while this containment team shows up, and sort of weird slow motion searches the area. Mm-hmm. Does a very bad job of it.
Yeah, and they're doing like the radio chatter thing, but nobody's actually talking in it.
Yeah, it like the video basically just looks like this dude looking almost confused. Like they gave him a phone call and let him know that they were coming. That's why they're standing out front. They did a little ADR to show that, but they gave him a phone call and let him know that's why they're standing out front. But then they're just sort of standing out there while these people just sort of mill around them at as fast as possible. Scanning the area for stuff. It
had the effect of a music video where there's nobody actually. You can tell nobody's talking in the scene they're shooting.
Spot on.
And then but it's just radio chatter over it. So
yeah, they're all talking to each other like, oh, check over there, blah blah blah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, this area is all clear. Yada yada yada.
And they take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they just like poke around. They're like, I don't see venom.
Yeah, none of us got eaten by an alien, so this place must be fine.
Yeah. There was particularly they did have their Geiger counters.
Sure. Why is our costume made from chocolate fudge?
So you do know that there's no actual radiation. Yeah. And they were scanning for that. And then we go back inside the barn now after the Monsters Inc. crew is out of there, and we see like a rat, and the rat's just doing rat things, and then like a cat starts stalking the rat, and then
cat do.
Yeah, and then a scene that took me. It was not until much later in the episode that I realized what exactly happened here.
Yeah, I didn't realize what happened until they kind of explained it later.
Yeah, what it looks like is a glitter cannon. Erupts from basically it looks like the rat just gets annihilated by a cannon of glitter that blows up in the cat's face,
and the cat leaves,
and the cat's like wow, and then fucks off.
To me it looks like so again the cat's going in to pounce on the rat, and it looks like just some blur goes across the screen, and then the cat just gets spooked and runs away.
Yeah, I could definitely tell that the blur was like something it looked like a cannon shot.
Well, I didn't.
It looked like the.
I mean,
that's probably literally what it was.
I see that. I see that in retrospect, but at the time, I was just like, I thought it was just some weird effect thing because they had just done the weird slow mo thing. I was like, there's just some weird blur across the screen just to indicate movement.
So were they trying to imply that the rat belched sprinkles at it.
Okay.
We'll get to
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to have this weaponized glitter rat later. So now it's the next day, according to the timestamp.
Yeah, according to the timestamp, it's the next day.
Yeah, we see Teague is already at the farm, and Angie and Hoff pull up, and then Hoff is again being a doubting Thomas, giving Teague shit about why are we here. And he's like, "Is it chupacabras? It's gotta be chupacabras."
Because in typical Teague fashion, he hasn't told him.
Teague's like, "I'm not telling you shit." He's like, the father and daughter are missing, and the cops are are like involved, but not directly. Really, they know about it, but there's not anything going on there.
Yeah, they haven't.
And Teague doesn't want to give Hoff and Angie anything on it. He's like, no, they're just missing, and look around and see what you can figure out. And I
believe Hoff was supposed. Okay, fine, we'll just leave.
Yeah. At this point, Hoff and Angie are like, well, fuck it, we need to go get dinner. You saw that place back there? We can get lunch there. They're just like, fuck off, Teague. We're tired of your shit.
So Teague gives them actually some information.
Yeah, and Teague says that this space shuttle landed 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So
the thing that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
The timestamp,
Yes.
mind you.
According to the timestamps, that's spelled December with a Z. It's also a really nice day for December. Anyway,
December in California.
Yeah, that's true. And so it landed like nearby, and that's basically, and there was some dust that crop dusted this farm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's something weird with the space shuttle landing nearby.
Yeah.
Look for these people. Definitely, like, fine, okay.
Yeah.
You gave us some information.
Yeah. And Hoff does bring up the point that it's pretty weird that Teague has like these connections with official people, and he keeps going to these two Jambooks for help.
Yeah.
And
that's a big part of his argument of let's just fucking leave then.
Yeah. So they decide now that this is the 10th time they're dealing with supernatural bullshit. They're gonna split up to cover more ground.
Yeah. You know, as you do.
Yeah.
As you do, in horror movies.
So
Angie's gonna take a quick shower.
Yeah.
And she's gonna fall down
and lose her shoes.
Yeah.
And Hoff is going to
Bang Angie.
Yeah.
Have sex with a random cheerleader that just happens to be there.
Yeah. There you go. One of the two.
Yeah.
Fuck somebody.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting the dick.
He gets all you don't know.
It's you or Angie.
And Angie's busy
And
falling down.
she's busy showering and falling downstairs and losing her shoes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Angie finds the rat, the remains of the rat. There's not much left.
Yeah, there's like a paw.
Yeah. It's glittery. And it exploded from the inside. So this is what you can figure out from looking at it. This rat just exploded. And in the meantime, Hoff finds the cat's collar just like off in the woods.
Yeah.
And then Angie tells Teague that he's got to call whoever the fuck he knows.
The woods which have a smoke machine.
Yeah, they are smoky woods.
It's real funny. But anyway.
And then we get the goddamn opening.
Yeah. Every time it gets me.
Yeah, I know.
Like every time, it's like, okay, so there's something going on with the plot. Ah!
The worst.
I hate it so much.
We should just play that in the middle of the conversation when it comes on in the show, just to jar Marty as much as it jars us.
If he falls asleep, just have it
on a soundboard.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there's a big button.
It's the anti-Marty sleep device.
So,
no, you must live with our pain.
I didn't even take note of how long the cold open was on this one.
And the point is, it didn't feel super long.
Yeah, no, it felt more. It didn't feel like it had 3 commercial breaks in it.
They also didn't drag it out either.
Yeah.
It's like in fact they almost rushed through it too fast. Well, with the cleanup crew and all that jazz.
So Hoff is still just wandering his ass way through these
smoky woods.
Yeah, and
or to be more accurate, these 4 trees that have smoke machines.
Yeah,
4 trees and a bush. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he circles the bush a few times, as Hoff is wanted to do. And so there's like some rustling, and so like you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And it's just fucking Teague just being an asshole and sneaking up on him.
Well, that's the thing. Is there's rustling in the bush, and he's like about to check it out, and then Teague just comes up from behind him and surprises him.
Yeah,
and
then as they walk away,
when they walk away, they're still rustling in the bush.
Yeah,
so there was something.
Yeah,
but anyway.
And at this point, I thought for sure we're gonna get Venom as a cat. That's what I thought this plot was going.
Cat Venom. Yeah, I mean that's what I was hoping for. I'm not gonna lie.
So they're like just digging through the house, just snooping around, and they find like the farmer's like left his heart medicine there, and so Hoff is like trying to do like some Sherlock Holmes bullshit.
Yeah, and it's heart medicine, and the kind you have to take like daily, so that's the sort of thing you leave around.
So he's like trying to do all these observations.
Yeah.
On that they left in a hurry. Then he like sits down where the farmer must have been sitting, and then looks out the window and it's like, he must have seen something over there. And he walks over there, walks towards the window, looks out there, and sees something outside again. So they go outside, and they find some cat fur. And
which Andy once again puts in a little
baggie. And then it's like, this cat probably exploded in a glittery burst.
Yeah.
Teague, he doesn't know anything. At least anything that he's like willing to explain to them. But it's hard to say how much he doesn't know.
How much he doesn't know and how much he's withholding.
Yeah. So like Angie calls somebody at UCLA that she knows. She's like, maybe and like I thought you would like send these samples there or something, but then they just like
they sort of talk about it, I guess.
Yeah, come back from commercial. And Angie has all these answers now.
Yeah.
So evidently, this is a spore that makes animals explode. And the spore travels up the food chain. So, they go, it started with a roach. I was like, where did this roach come from?
I think there might have been something about... Actually, it wasn't something about that. I think she either finds evidence of a roach, or... There was something where you see the rat like go after a...
I went back. There's no roach in the rat scene.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there's this previously undisclosed roach that blew up and got the rat with the spores. Then the rat blew up and got the cat. And now Hoff is like, "Where's the dog?" Because he sees the picture of the dog.
They know they have a dog.
Yeah. And so Teague freaks out. He's like, "No, we're fucking done here. We gotta bug the fuck out of here."
He's like. I believe his plan. He was going to go and get stuff, and then they needed to stay inside. The house.
He's like, you guys got to stay. I got to go make a call, and I can't make it on the cell phones. It has to be a secure line. I need a hard line for this. And so he leaves. He's like, stay inside, and don't
touch nothing.
Yeah, especially dogs. So then Angie and Hoff hear something after he leaves. They hear something up in the attic. And so nothing bad happens in the attic.
Nope. Nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah. So they go up there and they find the dad. He's dead. He's already
stone dead.
Yep. And then the daughter is up there. And
not exploded, by the way.
No,
just dead.
No, yeah, it's not just a gory mess of
glitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more traumatizing for the daughter.
Yeah. Also, his daughter's like 5 feet away from him, just crying.
Yeah.
For apparently 4 days.
Or 1 day.
Or 1 day, depending.
Yeah. 1 American day, 4 German days. So the Germans are so efficient.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's what
28 days in a week, baby. So Teague pulls up to the Monster Inc. Campsite that they have set up, and he's basically like, "Yeah, shit, fan already on intersect course here. It's not good."
Yeah, he talks to he goes to the boss.
Yeah, and so they're like cutting back and forth between both of these things happening, where Teague's there, Angie and Hoff are trying to like take care of this girl because she's
in a bad place.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And they don't really have to tell you why.
Well, they don't? I mean, why?
And so then the dog starts freaking out at the door. And then we cut back to Teague and Colonel Monster Inc., as I called her.
Oh, that's a good thing.
And it's like, oh, she's telling Teague the whole area is quarantined.
This is part of where you start to learn that the reason why Teague just doesn't give any information and why he's not very helpful is because his bosses are even less helpful and give even less information.
It's like the farther up this chain you go,
yeah,
the more combative they are of their underlings.
Yeah, as said in the beginning, like Teague, this is probably the best like actual Teague episode since before it was Ghost Teague that went the best. Because this one Teague seems perfectly reasonable within the constraints of his weird bullshit shadowy organization.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure this Colonel lady, I'm pretty sure she gets her orders from whoever is giving her orders just by punches.
Yeah, you have to figure it out. Like, oh, he did a left hook this time. That means
yeah.
I just got the image of the mouse organ from Monty Python.
Yeah, they
underling heads in a row.
Yeah, it just the secret organization is just all about not giving anybody any information.
Yeah.
That's what their thing is.
Yeah. So
Well, if they knew about how dangerous the stuff was, they wouldn't go.
That's their fault. So Hoff calls Teague, and these assholes are listening in. They like set up they're listening in shit. And Hoff is like, "When you coming back, Teague?" Teague's like, "It's gonna be a bit." And
boss bitch face is basically right over Teague's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking tell them anything.
Yeah.
I'll fucking kill you.
So Teague's trying to like.
He's trying to give his best coded message as best he can.
And so he's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a bit," and like, Hoff's like, "We'll fucking define that shit," and then she hangs up on both Hoff and Teague. She just kills the line, and then
she's also pissed, like, you gave them too much information.
Yeah, she is, and she has Teague arrested at this point.
Oh,
yeah, or at least taken into custody of
detained.
Some kind. Yeah,
whatever.
So, like, Hoff's like, "Oh, well, fuck." Teague's like, "I don't know what's going on with Teague." So I got one move here. He's got to call Griff now.
Yep.
So,
Griff, go find the dog.
Fucking tight.
Yeah. Griff, I need you to go drown this dog in the ocean.
Or your blood, whichever works.
Yeah. So,
just grab the dog and walk into the ocean.
So Hoff calls Griff, and this is kind of funny because he's like, you know that house that we were going to check out, and Griff's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "I need you to meet there," and he's like, "Okay," and then they get cut off from the Monster Inc. people.
Yeah, they're like jamming cell phone signals and such.
Yeah. So, like, evidently they told him exactly where they're going, and then left him there. Mm-hmm. Like, here's the directions in case you get stuck in the microwave again.
Well, to be fair, the way they operate, I think they need to tell people.
They absolutely should.
They need to have a lifeline somehow.
Yeah.
People like, I'm going exactly here at exactly this time.
Yeah.
If I don't come back or talk to you, you need to do something.
The funny thing is, like, they always call Griff, who's, like, mediocre at best.
Yeah.
They never call Donna, who gets shit done all the time.
I mean, I think the thing is that Griff is just absolutely loyal to the Hoff, and will never ever not do anything he says. Well, Donna might be busy.
It's true. Yeah, if you need somebody to drag a dog into the ocean, it's gonna be Griff.
or fight a voodoo cult.
Yeah.
called Griff.
Get his ass kicked by voodoo guys
You
in a
need
van.
to kill a cult? Maybe drown a dog? Call Griff.
This absolutely sounds like a Deadlands character.
No, it really does. It's pretty close. But okay, anyway.
So,
Just call 1-800-I-AM-GRIFF.
So Griff's on his way.
yeah. So then they show one of the Monster Inc. guys doing tests on like a sample that Teague brought, and then like somehow it's not sure because they've been wearing the Monsters Inc. suit the entire time. He got contaminated, so now he's got instead of glitter, I thought he was just gonna be all glittered up. Now he's got the black light paint on his face.
Yeah, he's all glowy in the face veins.
And so then they grab like some big tube, and I was like, "What are they just gonna shove him in the tube?" I was like trying to figure out what's going on with this, and then I don't even know what they were trying to do. My best guess is that this is their explosion extinguisher. So they're just hitting him with this. Doesn't do anything. They just cover him in fog before he blows up. And he spits more of the black light stuff all over the inside of the face shield.
Yeah.
It looks like that video of the kid who put the glow stick in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
It looks like that happened. Yeah, and then he's done so. And so Griff pulls up and sees that the road is blocked by all these Monster Inc. guys. And he can't just drive through. So now we know he's gonna get up to some shit. But they cut back to Angie and the Hoff, and they don't know where the dog is. So the girl's like, he probably went to the barn because he sleeps out there. We cut back to Griff, who's in full Metal Griff Solid mode. He's like sneaking around the base, like looks like he sees Teague, but I'm not positive. But he sees. I
think he sees Teague just sort of standing there.
Yeah. But he's like, I can't get. He's too far over there. He's surrounded. I can take out this guy over here, and I can get to this prize. He sees an ambulance. He immediately wants to steal this ambulance. Angie, he runs in. He knocks a guy out, jumps in the ambulance, drives away, and then they're all like, "Oh shit! Fucking somebody stole our ambulance!"
Start shooting at him.
Yeah. So. Then they cut to Angie and the Hoff, who were slightly confused that Griff stole an ambulance because they're not privy to any of the other shit that's really going on.
Yeah. Around this time, Hoff also says the line that something along the lines that Griff has never failed him.
It is true.
It's technically true.
Yeah. So the dog doesn't attack Griff, but he's like threatening Griff. He's outside the ambulance,
and
barking, all that stuff, right? And Hoff's like, "Stay away, dog, no bueno." And so Hoff's like, "I'll distract the dog. Angie, you take the little girl and go to the ambulance." And so then Hoff's big plan is just to yell at the dog and then run away.
Yeah, run into the barn.
Yep. Dog chases him. And then Angie and the little girl stay in the house and go, "I wonder what's happening."
That is literally what happens. Is that Hoff does this whole thing to get the dog to chase him into the barn, and then they just go, "Yep, he did that."
Yeah, pretty much. And so then Hoff is like inside the barn. He like climbs a rope.
Yeah, he
and he's basically let this dog treat him like a raccoon.
Yeah, yeah. He goes full primate for a bit.
Yeah.
And just climbs his way out. That's just no problem.
Yeah, but he also loses track of the dog when he does it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have eyes on his booty.
Yeah, so
Meanwhile, the dog is now climbing the wall.
So he's up on the rope.
I imagine,
but he doesn't know where the dog is, and Angie and the girl are still in the house.
Yeah. And they're just yelling to each other at
Yeah.
this point.
And Griff's like, what's going on?
And Griff is just confused. He has no idea what's happening. He literally has no idea what's happening, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, they've told him nothing about, like, killer alien spores or whatever.
No.
It's just break through this government quarantine zone and get us out of this fucking farmhouse. That's all he knows.
So
That's all
then,
Griff needs to know.
so now the dog is inside the house.
Yeah. Like when they were like, "Where's the dog?" We're looking out the window. I half expected the dog's head to come up over Angie's shoulder.
Yeah.
And just like,
What are you looking at?
but no.
Yeah, no. So Angie like grabs a chair and tries to like hold the dog at bay.
And
But-
around this time, Hoff and Griff have gotten wise as to what's going on.
Yeah.
So they both run to the house while Angie's doing the lion tamer thing with the chair
Yeah.
to this dog. At which point glitter bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. The chairs do not. It's like.
Well, actually, the dog death wine and glitter bomb.
Yeah. And the chair did not stop the glitter. So now Angie and the girl are both infected. Mm-hmm. They've got the glow on them. And so Hoff comes up with a plan where they're gonna take him to a hospital that has a hyperbaric chamber, because
Apparently, the spore literally explodes you just via pressure.
yeah,
It just expands in your body until you just
Yeah.
burst like a balloon.
and Hoff's like, so we'll take him to one of the I know a place that deals with divers, so take him there, and we'll just
We'll just
Kind of like
press it back in.
yeah, just hold it, just mush it.
it's like pigeons and Alka Seltzer.
Yeah, it is basically that.
And they're like, I guess that's an idea.
And see, around this part in the episode, I was starting to think about like other outbreak type movies and whatever things too. They just completely abandoned the idea of separating Angie and the little girl from Hoff and Griff. Griff's like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
I will literally do whatever you tell me to.
It's like,
Literal ride or die.
yeah, like, don't go near the dog that's infected, but ride in this ambulance with 2 infected people.
Yeah.
Seems legit.
And like Hoff's Angie's all like, don't touch us, don't do it.
Yeah.
Hoff's just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna
Yeah, I'm the Hoff.
I'm gonna do whatever I need
I
to.
don't give a shit. If Griff needs to, he can
no.
drag me into the surf. I know I'll try, but I'll do it.
They're like, but you're above the food chain from us.
Yeah.
We're only
He's a
feeding-
higher being.
Yeah.
He's half water elemental. But again, thinking about like other outbreak movies, this becomes the part in those movies where you realize that that the plucky heroes trying to escape are kind of the villains. We're just gonna break the quarantine and spread these spores to the greater area.
It definitely hits a little different in the post-COVID era. Too.
Well, I'm thinking of specifically like of much older stuff.
Yeah.
Like what was it? There's the one I'm thinking of specifically is Cabin Fever, the one where people just a bunch of teens just get a super flesh-eating virus in the middle of the woods, and then they just proceed to just spread it from there.
I don't know that one. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know the song "Cabin Fever" from Muppet Treasure Island though. That's a banger.
I'm sure that goes a lot better.
No, I think the one he's mentioning is like it ends with like the guy like jumping into the river. Or whatever,
Well, there's
contaminating
actually
water.
been like there's actually 2 versions of it that were released like really close together. Like there was the original one and then the remake one, which was only like which was like 5 or maybe 10 years older. So they're weirdly close in terms of a reboot sort of thing. But that is how since it's a waterborne virus in that particular one,
Mm-hmm.
the protagonist dude who's the last person to get out of there and is infected already. He basically he ends up just collapsing into a river, and then like 12 feet down the river, you see like some kids just like, I'm just drinking this water, blah blah blah.
Yep.
And they did a sequel. I think they did 2 sequels to that movie actually.
Yeah, the one I know has Gonzo in it. So
Yeah, no.
Gonzo quit spreading the flesh-eating bacteria.
Well, I remember I saw a bit of the sequel where the virus starts spreading out into the wider thing, and like at the end of that movie, I remember that the implication is just like, oh yeah, they just can't contain it now. It's spread too far. There's nothing you can do. But the scene from that one that I remember is the janitor at the school gets infected, and he's pissed off at the kids because they just treat him like shit, and so he pisses in their punch for their prom thing, which of course then infects them all, and then that gets real messy. But yeah.
So anyway,
that weird segue.
So Hoff calls the ambulance, and he's like, "You got to clear out the entire floor with the hyperbaric chamber," and they're like,
"You got it."
All right, cool. We respect your lifeguard authority here.
Yeah, it's real weird. He calls up this highly specialized equipment, and they're just like, you just have to, and he just yells at them to evacuate the building. And they're just like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, we set it up for you, it's good to go.
Set up the iron lung.
So like Griff is like super fucking happy that he gets to hit the sirens on the ambulance and like drive through barriers and shit.
Yeah, and they're chasing them.
Yeah. You almost want to hear the heat is on playing.
Yeah.
Or banjo music.
Any chase music, really.
So they get to the hospital. So they get to the hospital, and like as they're shoving them both into the chamber, Angie tries to like be like, "Hey, if something," he's like, "Shut up, just get in there."
We don't have time. We don't have time for your shit now.
Yeah,
you're literally going to explode in like 12 seconds.
So,
oh yeah, they've got progressively bluer, veinier.
Yeah, they look. It kind of reminds me of Bane from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. It's a little bit like that, except they don't look cool. They don't look stoked about the whole situation.
Yeah. And so Hoff is the one who's going to be manning this, manning the controls here.
I was born in the glitter.
Not that Bane.
No, different Bane. But still Bane. So technically accurate.
I do love the fact that the Harley Quinn cartoon uses that same voice for Bane in it.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of use that voice now.
Yeah,
it's especially just, for a comedy version.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah. So Hoff is the one who's going to be manning the controls on the hyperbaric chamber
because apparently he knows that.
Sure.
Well, well, to be fair, it's him or Griff.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And so his idea is just the more uncomfortable they look, the higher he's going to crank it. And then Griff's like, "Can they take it?" Hoff's like, "I don't know. Do they got a choice?"
And again, Hoff's not really wrong here. It's this or explode. Yeah.
And then like they've barricaded the door behind them, but now it's like.
But yeah, they're right on their heels.
Yes.
So
so Griff's like looking back and he's like, "They're coming." I was like, "Make sure they don't." and so evidently this machine is supposed to be able to get up to about 23 atmospheres of pressure.
So
Or-
this
or it
just
can go up to-
condenses it so that it makes a bigger explosion, right?
No, it's at 23 right now. Sorry, you can go up to about 30. So of course they're gonna have to crank it all the way to 30.
Yeah.
So like, alarms start going off, and like Griff's telling Hoff he's gotta stop. Hoff's like, I know what I'm doing, and it's like,
Not to 50.
and like, does he? Does he actually know what he's doing?
Yeah. No. Well, the whole scenario is just a half-assed plan that he just came up with.
It's really
It's like this is the Hailest Mary I can throw.
yeah. This is basically when the DM's like, all right, fuck it, let's roll, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So Colonel Monster Inc. gets in there, and she's like telling them to stop, and then T shows up and pulls a gun on her.
He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. And so then right after this, like, you see like the glitter just sort of like leave.
They get to the area where they get to the like 30 or 31 atmospheres or whatever, and apparently that's enough for the spores not to be cool with it.
Yeah.
And they have a weird scene of the spores just sort of leaving her body.
Yeah, they just leave. And one thing they have established is like when they don't have a host, they deteriorate like really quick.
Yeah.
So they just leave and then it's just done.
The spores leaving their body is a kind of funny scene, just visually, because it's clearly they poured little styrofoam beads on basically on Angie Harmon, and put it and showed it and used a black light, and they made the styrofoam beads orange so that they glowed orange, and then they did that in the reverse, so the spores were going up.
Yeah.
The spores.
And so this is the part that really annoyed me though, is like once that happens, okay, the spores have left the body, they're okay now, they're in the clear. What do? They immediately turn off the hyperbaric chamber completely, and then open it up and pull them out.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, you just talked about the whole reason why you know this exists is because divers need to decompress.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're at extreme pressures.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you can go from 30 to 1 like nothing. Trust me, it's cool, dude. I've done it plenty of times. Like, fucking off.
He knows what he's doing. Shut up.
Yeah. It's like they specifically...
Seems legit.
It's like you can't even blame it on, like, ignorance on the writers or anything. That's
No.
the whole reason why the whole fucking contrivance of him knowing about the chamber in the first place is there.
Unless
he specifically explains
unless
that when...
unless they're saying that somehow the spores
ate the pressure.
No. The spores counteracted the pressure is what I'm saying. That was the whole idea, right?
Yeah, but the...
I know it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to say it makes sense. That's not my argument. It's fucking bullshit. I agree 100%. All I'm saying is that the spores were doing outward pressure from inside of her, and they were doing and the chamber was pressing outward into her. That means that when the spores are gone, then it's just
a bigger explosion.
Well, no, when the spores are gone, and then if you take the pressure away, then it's just fine. It's just neutral. That's the actual argument. It doesn't make sense. Again, bullshit. Let me reiterate that. But that's what they're saying.
I think the more plausible explanation is the spores ate the pressure.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the real explanation is that they're like, okay, we're done with this scene. Let's just
pretty much. They're like, we're done.
The actual reason.
Fuck off. We've got 5 minutes left in this episode. We gotta wrap shit up.
They had the shit a glitter bomb inside the machine.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the also as a result of this, there's no problems with.
That's when bath bombs were designed.
That's what the glitter mail bombs. It's actually alien spores.
And after that, just no problems with the government or the weird quarantine thing.
No, nobody
fine.
gives a shit now.
You don't got the spores in you. You're good.
Yeah. It literally cuts to some indiscriminate time later.
4 days, probably.
That's my best guess.
It clicks up 1 on the German title.
Yeah. So evidently the girl's aunt has come to live on the farm. And the little girl's got a new puppy. That Angie and Hoff give her.
It's named Dad.
We've replaced your family.
Yeah. Now make sure to feed him lots of Alka Seltzer and glitter.
That way he'll be just like your old dog.
Yeah. And so, and then like
we skipped over it. They absolutely make Cujo references for them.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do.
They call him Cujo like at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then Teague's there, and Hoff's like, "You almost got us killed," and Teague's like, "But I didn't." Eh?
Ba-dum-bum.
Well, they're also like he does get a good thing at the end there, where they're basically just like, "Why, Teague? Fucking why?" And he basically just points to the little girl.
Yeah.
Because she'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
And I go, well, yeah, you got us there, Teague.
Yeah. Yep, that's the end of the episode. This one is a little tough for me to rank.
Yeah, well, it's. I think the problem being is that it's very silly overall.
Yeah, there's a lot of wacky fun times.
But at the same time, it's sort of not the subject matter is not goofy.
Yeah,
it is literally like alien space spores exploding people from the inside out.
Yeah,
and also a little girl watching her like sitting next to her dead dad for 4 days potentially.
And the dumb parts of the episode are so infuriating. You're like, what are you doing, Hop? You climbed this rope, and then they're still in the house.
Yeah,
you've accomplished less than nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It would have all been better if you just ran to the ambulance.
Yeah, that way you only get one of you.
Between that and the chamber, it was like, it wasn't fun, Goofy. It was like, what's going on here, Goofy?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of just dumb things from the characters in general. Like they really suck at maintaining that quarantine. Is what I can say. They just have one of those little. I'm not sure what those called. The little barricade things.
Yeah, they're just like the
barricade that you set up in front of the road.
It's like the sawhorse style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They just apparently have one of those, and that's what they got.
I mean,
they have the money for that. Like, but they also all have the money for only one of those in an ambulance. But they also have the money for the hazmat suits, the science chamber where the dude gets infected, and also assault rifles for everybody.
That sounds like normal government.
And the explosion extinguisher.
And the explosion extinguisher.
It does sound like normal government.
I cannot say how much I thought when they were pulling, because it's like, you know, that like that kind of like stretchy like accordion tube style stuff. That's like what this big like tube is that they bring over to shoot the fog at him.
Yeah,
I thought I thought they were just gonna shove him in it.
It seemed like that because it was really large, but it's like, no, this is just this is just the
easily fit. It's like a 4-foot diameter hose.
It's just their mil-spec fog machine.
Yeah, it's like this baby's for Laser Floyd is what this is.
And this tube is previously used for children crawling through at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, no.
Oh man, I saw a video recently of an adult climbing through one of those like play area places, and he was way too big to be in there, and the crowd just collapsed, and he just ate shit, like fell like 10 feet.
I saw a video of some lady going through play place type thing. I don't think it was actual place. It didn't look too good. It looked too cool for it. But she got stuck between these two foam roller things, so you're kind of supposed to squeeze between them. But she was a bit too big for it. But then a kid just dove in above her, and just sort of both went right through it, and also forced her through because it made the thing spin.
Rolled.
Yeah, it just rolled her through it.
It fired her like a Hot Wheels boost.
Yeah, basically. It was pretty fun.
I also saw a video of a lady on those trampoline parks, and she like ran and jumped on the trampoline. It was like one of those ones that's like kind of suspended over the foam pit, and so there's like a frame that extends out, and then she jumped and just went right through it.
Good stuff.
So anyway, yeah, but it was interesting when they were building their play place.
Also, as mentioned before, this does shed light on Teague's bullshittery.
Yeah.
It's like, man, he's the most reasonable person in this organization. Because fucking hell.
Yeah. And again, we're not even positive, like, because she says that he's under arrest, and he's like, you don't have the authority for that. And we're not even sure if this is, like, exactly his organization or,
I don't think they're specifically his organization.
Yeah.
I think they're simply related.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
They're both part of the government, but she's specifically related to, like, quarantine things.
Yeah.
And he's in the weird secret investigating aspect.
And it's unclear where the chain of command actually lies because their status isn't clearly defined across those.
My guess is, and again, complete speculation, is that she has authority because of quarantine things, but he has authority because of weird, spooky investigating things. So they both have authority in the thing. She has like the more specific authority, and so she would theoretically outrank him. But he has license to investigate this sort of thing and do this and do his sort of stuff. So it's one of those things.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
Wow.
in the weird shitty X-Files that he's a part of.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to even think about where to shove this one.
I didn't have a good feeling in terms of where to put it. It's like not super high.
No,
I know that much, but I'm not sure if it's like.
What's in the 4.5 range?
Well, 4.4 is Last Breath. The one that's the not supernatural one. Just the guy who's just drowning people. Or kidnapping people to drown them in the car.
Right.
At a box standard 5 is the rig.
Right.
5.4 is the Curse of the Mirrored Box. The voodoo combat one.
I definitely think it's worse than that. I feel it's close to the rig, but I'm not sure about if it's above or below. What is it? Last Breath. Last Breath gets points mostly just because of the dude who did the crazy guy in it, the actor for that really fucking sells crazy.
Yeah,
that's where it gets most of its points.
What about 4.8? 4.75.
What's the one below Last Breath?
The Strike at 4.
Right, the other one involving aliens.
I feel like it's above The Strike.
Yeah, just because it's silly.
Yeah.
And 4.4 was Last Breath?
Yeah.
4.25?
Well, that's the thing is I'm not sure where it falls around the Last Breath.
This might have to be a plus and minus one.
Is it above or below? It might. I don't want it to be a plus or minus.
4.25.
I'm gonna try and think about this for a second.
Between 4.25 and 4.75.
Fuck you.
Hey, you know what's on the table again? 4.20 plus or minus 69.
God damn it. Well, now it's a tradition at this point. Fuck it. Fuck it. That's what it is.
There must be one that carries on the legacy.
Fucking A.
You cannot avoid it.
I said the Hoff was inevitable, and apparently this is inevitable too.
Yeah. Alright, I forgot the name of it for a second. Alright, so next up We have... where did I put that? I just had it and I lost it. Okay. Next up...
I completely forgot what our guesses were. I know we narrowed it down to, okay, what kind of a space spore was for the last one. I don't even remember what we said. I have no idea.
I can't remember either.
whether it was a mind control spore or whether it was like body snatchers, like replicant spore or like virus spore. I don't remember what we wrote.
I don't know. I know nobody guessed exploding spore. I know that.
No. Nobody gets exploding spore,
Yeah.
but virus spore would have counted too.
I can't remember if he said vampire spore or not.
I did not say vampire spore. I know that's not true.
All right. So next up is possessed.
Possessed. Well, I'm gonna hope ghosts is what I'm gonna hope, because they already sort of did the demon thing. So,
Or if it's the ghost of a demon.
well, then both works. If it's the ghost of a demon, then it's still a ghost, so it counts, and then it's also still a demon, so it counts.
Oh, sorry, no. Repossessed. Sorry, no, just kidding.
No, what fucking
No, it's possessed.
Leslie Nielsen comes in. I'm
God damn it. Repossessed absolutely sounds like a parody movie of all those possession.
Yeah.
You mean the house haunting?
No. Like the like Exorcist and
Yeah.
It exists. It has Leslie Nielsen. And it actually has the lady...
That sounds familiar.
And the actual lady that... what's her name? That actually played the little girl in The Exorcist.
Linda Blair.
Yeah. She's in there too. And she gets repossessed. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
No, and they did, when the Red Letter Media did their review on The Exorcist, they just did little inserts of all the jokes from Repossessed.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to show in all the good parts from Repossessed. All, like, 6 of them.
Yeah, like I said, ghost is what I'm going with this time. Ghost possession. Can we go demon possession?
Yeah.
That would cover the bait. That would cover
Full-
the bait.
I think full on Exorcist.
All right. So in this one, Donna becomes possessed by the spirit of a dead serial killer.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Also, Donna episode.
Yeah.
She was completely absent from this.
Maybe that's why she was dancing that one time.
That would explain that.
You got possessed by the spirit of dance. She got possessed by the rhythm.
Rhythm's gonna get you, just like
Yeah.
that serial killer. A serial killer called the rhythm. That'd be funny.
All right. I think we're done here.
Sure. Let's turn you on.